like a push and trainer. Like a push and trainer.
It's just gone 14 minutes after 2 o'clock. We're in the second and final hour of the show, and I've added an element into the studio. BlakLez is here, Mr. IS.
Yes.
Rocking that black currency.
Always.
In red.
Red.
Looking clean.
Apparently, this is like, I wear this color a lot. Now, there's no way.
You do?
Apparently, because I wore it in the video.
Yes.
Thank you. In the current video. And I just say, oh, okay. Is it your favorite color? No. I like blue, like dark, navy.
Maybe you're doing it unintentionally, but it's also communicating a particular message about where you're at.
What does red tell you?
So red is a power color. Okay. Red is also a danger color. It's a khafar color.
This is just
so
me.
You don't just, but this is you.
Yeah.
I know you to be that way. Yeah. And I remember we were having a conversation the one time, and you're like, yo, I don't know why people think that I'm like unapproachable or scary and stuff.
The nicest guy.
You're a very, very nice guy, but you've got this thing of, if you don't have the right energy, or if you're coming, snacks.
Yeah. Let me say something to you. It's very important to guard your peace and to master your own energy.
Yes.
Very important.
Yes.
Very important. You know that. You know all about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just looked up the symbolism of the color red. So the meanings of red. Red is the color of extremes.
Mm-hmm.
It's the color of passionate love.
Yeah.
Seduction.
Yeah.
Violence. Violence, danger, anger, and adventure. And then it also says our prehistoric ancestors saw red as the color of fire and blood.
There we go.
Energy and primal life forces. And most of red symbolism today arises from its powerful associations in the past.
Did you see like my bear energy cover is also red? And you have me wearing like a bear over my head. It's okay, so everything just comes together.
Everything is aligning and everything is coming together. Really, really dope. I think because, so for everybody who's listening and waiting for PDotO, we're also waiting for PDotO, but he's going to be here in a moment. So we can talk some bear energy.
Yeah.
What the hell? We get LostDiamonds on the 27th, and then we get bear energy on the 28th.
Yeah.
Why Ospana saw?
You know what? I feel like a lot of people had been waiting, and we were in studio with you before you came to one of our sessions, actually.
Yes, for LostDiamonds. Yes,
so because people don't know that we're actually quite close with us. So here comes P. Yeah, grab a seat, bro. So what's up, though? Yeah, bro. Sure.
PDotO has arrived. Hello, Beyonce of the group.
Hey, what's up, Queen Aziza?
Okay, so we're gonna give you just a minute to settle in because we were actually on some other.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So you said okay, two album, two projects,
right?
So when you that first session, remember there was like a bunch of close ones.
Yes.
And Tsepiso, one of the homies that we worked with from the beginning,
right,
pulled me to the side and he said, "Yo, you've got it. You've got everything. You've got the character. You've got this. You just need to shift gears."
Ooh.
He said, "You could be like a multimillionaire like right now. You should be, and you're going to be, but it depends on whether you're gonna shift gears."
Yeah.
That thing hit me so hard, man.
Why did it resonate with you so much at that particular time?
Because it felt like I didn't do myself justice, and I had to sit down. And then I started for the next 2 to 3 weeks. I was meditating every morning. I was trying to get my mind right. So, and it was also like the project with LostDiamonds was coming together very nicely. So it was extra motivation. And then it became a little bit easier to work on bare energy because I was so calm. I was zen. I've never been so zen in my life. And I think
hear that.
When you hear the music and the production, the production, you know, this kid from KZN called Brave Beats, he basically sent me that way.
Oh wow.
You know, with his production. Now he's now become a permanent feature. He's now a part of my production team.
That's
so
dope.
we spoke about that. So chances are that I might just even do a whole album with him.
Oh my goodness.
Like that's how good this kid is.
That is wild.
You know, so Bare Energy is like, it came from somebody telling me that I needed to shift gears, and I said, well, we've got LostDiamonds, and it's going to be, we already knew that LostDiamonds was going to be a classic.
I could tell.
Classic, yeah, we knew, like, it was, and when we say classic, we don't mean it's a classic, it trends on the day it comes out. We trended hard, like, when it came out. Right now, we're trending among the people.
Yes,
it's like, and people were telling us, P, that, yo, push it back, so and so is releasing, this and that is happening. We were just laughing. We're like, you don't know what you're dealing with. You're dealing with completely new energies that you're used to.
I've never really believed in the whole push it back because such and such is releasing on a date.
Yeah,
I've never really been a believer of that. I just, my mind stayed, because I feel like if you're a new artist, then okay, that makes sense, because you still need to establish yourself. You need to build a brand. You need to build a following. But me and Les have, the work speaks for itself. We've built a credible brands and a credible following, you know. So the people are always going to check for the music, whether we drop on the same day as whoever. It doesn't really matter. Right. But I think sometimes, and it's just how the wave of music is today, because people just focus on that one day. Yeah. Are you number one? Are you trending? Excited, are you on iTunes? Yeah. That shit is for. Oh, sorry. Can I? Sorry, but it's forgot. Like, let me ask you a question.
No, but you're
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes. Let me ask you a question. Who trended last week? Number 2.
LostDiamonds.
No. This is this week. Now my point. Who trended last 2 weeks ago? Number 4.
To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah, number 5.
So that's the music.
Do you remember? No.
The music matters. The music it's here to stay. We made a solid body of work, and people are resonating with it, and people are actually the biggest advertisers of the album.
100%.
They talking about the album every day. Like, they're sending us texts, DMs every day. So that's what I find important more than that one day where people looking at something that's
very true. Yeah. So I want to ask you guys a question that I asked you at the listening the other day, just because we have a different audience now, and I thought it was very important for people to get that as well. And I asked you guys why you decided to do a collaborative effort when you've worked so hard to establish yourselves as individual brands. You know what I mean? And because there was a time where it was like, hey, 3-for-1 special. You get Les, you get PDotO, and you get Ntate. Yeah. And you guys worked really hard, even though you didn't necessarily announce that, to be able to stand alone and for people to know when you get Les, you get Les. When you get PDotO, you get PDotO. Yeah. But there's no beef, it's still all love. So why do that switch?
I think everything is linked. I think we had to do that to get to a point where we can make LostDiamonds.
Yeah. Right.
So when you get LostDiamonds, you don't get a sense of, we expected them to do it anyway. People would have expected us to do it like 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Yeah. Everybody's been on our back about it. Now when it comes, it was sudden, like, okay, it's coming. Yeah.
That's true.
And they hear it, and it's not what they expect. It's not like, yo, say more, you know, they're dope, it's nice, whatever. Yeah. It's like, they hearing 2 new artists. It's just weird.
That's how I felt.
Yeah, it's like, yo, these guys.
That's really, really how I felt. Yeah. And I loved that. And it's something that I said to you guys as well, where I was like, yo, don't come out with things that people are expecting. Because, for instance, I have a conversation about you, P, often, where I say, like, for instance, when I heard you on the Tobetsa remix, that's a totally different side to you, but you sound so dope.
Even on LostDiamonds.
Still, even on LostDiamonds. So I heard you in your sexy flexi bag. I heard that. But I still heard you on your conscious tip. But I heard you on your fun tip as well. And I think that is really key to show people that, oh, you think you've got me figured out? I've got so much more.
Can I pick on P for like 2 seconds?
Do
it. I always do.
Do it.
P, I said to P, he has more in his pocket, in his locker, than most people realize. P actually has, like, traditionally the P that I know is not the P that went out and tried to tell people that he's a lyricist or try to prove that. Yeah. And the P that you would encounter when you hang out with him is not intense at all.
That was the biggest surprise for me.
He's probably the most likable guy, right?
You're so likable. You're so fun.
He's funny, yeah. So you get that on LostDiamonds, different sides to him, which I've always, like, probably the biggest person that was bugging him and encouraging that, because I think people need to see him in that light, where the niche fan base that he's gotten will push him into the mainstream, and in the mainstream they'll see how incredible he is if he if he's not afraid of the criticism.
Right.
See, I already took the criticism, like where people are like, but when I get there sometimes, like, when it's like you left this and whatever. Now with LostDiamonds, they're like, oh snap. Even Ty, remember when he was listening to LostDiamonds, he's like, yo.
Sorry, T.Y.
Ty. I guess
his name's Ty.
His name's Ty. Even Ty
Shout
was
out
saying,
Ty.
when he first heard it, he's like, oh snap. I thought you were not even. I said, dog, there's a reason why there are more and more people gravitating towards me. It's because I'm not afraid to make music that people will understand. And P has got bags of that in his lock.
Right.
Which is now evident, even on my bare energy algorithm.
Yes.
You go hear, like, it's a guy that's really found that lane for himself. And I'm now more interested in what kind of album he's going to come up with next. You know, these kind of changes should make fans and people excited. Like, yo, okay, these guys are not the same artists. They're the same OGs, but they're not the same artists. You know what I'm saying, dog? For me, it's exciting times.
It is exciting for me as well, as somebody who's a consumer of both of you. So I personally am really, really loving LostDiamonds. So we're going to take a break. We're going to play the both of y'all, BlakLez and PDotO, featuring Jay Claude with Holy Ghost. And then from 2:30 until 3 o'clock, I have curated something.
Holy Ghost, you must leave for, you know.
No, guys, we don't want to leave crying.
Let her live her life, dog. Let her play.
Because we're going to get into something really, really dope from 2:30 until 3 o'clock. You guys don't know, but I know, and it's going to be hella. No, I know better than to try surprise you with a freestyle. Come on, P, respect me. Thank you. Let me ask you, P, how many stages are there of a diamond?
Now you're asking me deep things. They have, wait, isn't there 4?
Exactly.
It's 4, yeah.
And if you had to break up the album into parts, how many parts would it come into if you remove the intro?
Well, the album has 3 parts.
Has 3 parts.
Yeah, it's
of
3
4
parts.
joints at a time.
Yeah, it's basically the afternoon, and then we go to the club in the night. It's a vibe. It's an evening.
Which kind of club, though?
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's a vibe. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be a club. It can be a crib. It can be a house party.
I think you missed what you were asking.
No. I'm just talking about the stages now. In the morning, we're in the streets. In the evening, we vibing.
Oh.
And then in the morning, we reflecting, introspection.
All right. Why did you break it down in that way?
Because I've always believed that an album is not just a compilation of songs. You can have 10 incredibly great songs that are wow, and it's like 10 hits. I don't believe that's an album. I believe an album needs to take you through a certain journey. An album needs to make you feel different things. An album needs to come, you know, and communicate different things to you. So this is exactly what LostDiamonds does. LostDiamonds takes it to, you know what I mean? We didn't want to, obviously there's people that look at me and Les as lyricists. So we had to make sure we cater to them. We had to make sure that we have the vibe, you know what I'm saying? And this, you can only do this when you're a versatile artist. If you're not a versatile artist, and we also went to Ekasi a little bit and touched Nyanara, and then, you know me, we were also, you know, introspective and
very
reflective.
sexy.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Great.
Who's sexy?
Yes,
the music. The music. You guys got into your sexy and seduction bag.
Yeah,
I heard it on Forbidden Fruit, on Court as well. And I find that, you know, generally you guys tend to be very private about certain things.
Survive.
But on those joints, you open those doors up to a certain extent to us. Why?
Yeah, speak, bro.
Ish.
I think if you're gonna make an album like LostDiamonds, you're gonna have to keep people interested, and I think sometimes you're gonna go where people didn't expect you to go.
Right.
Music is sometimes like the movies, man. You know, some of the stuff on like books, it's like some of the stuff you embellish. Yeah. Like we did on Banana Clips. Some of the stuff is real. You know, some of the stuff will make people cry. You know, so we wanted to. It's you know, people think having different kinds of songs is a good thing on an album. Having a balanced album is a good thing,
right?
Because as he was saying, you could have had like a playlist, like, oh, they did one for the club. Oh, they did one. Yeah. We didn't actively do a song for the club,
right?
Like we
just happened.
We just like literally said, okay, this song fits this one. There were songs where we like, maybe you should get so and so. Like, nah,
right,
it's not gonna work.
So how did you decide who to feature on the project. There's Inve there. There's also Jay Claude.
We listen to the beats, basically.
Oh my God. Ntate Stunna as well.
What's with the Jay Claude? Oh my God.
I love that joint. I love
the joint. Okay.
I love his voice. There's just something that he brings.
He's very talented.
To the songs that he's on that I can't. Sometimes you hear a song and it features somebody, and you listen and you're like, but you know what? You could have swapped out so and so and put in so and so. But when you hear the joints that have Jay Claude, and I can't hear anybody else on them.
He's a pure artist. He's
So how did you guys go about deciding who deserves to be on LostDiamonds?
I think music, like, I think music sometimes. Michael Jackson said something that I'll never forget. He said, get out of the way of the music. Don't write the music. Let the music write itself. And what he meant by that is sometimes when you hear a beat, the song already wrote itself before we even do anything to it. Like when we heard the beat, shout out to Ron and Epidemic, we already knew, like, this is a vibe, bro. Like, you hear the people before they even on the song. Jay would be dope on this. I hear his voice, and then you make those calls. It was one of those things where it just wrote itself. Like, it's not like we sat there pre the beats and pre everything. Okay, we must have Jay Claude on the album. Okay, we must have Inve on the album. No, you hear the beats and you hear what the beat is saying before you even write anything. Yo man, Banana Clips. Ish, my nigga. Like, I had Les at the verse for Banana Clips in the hook already. Hey dog, this is rowdy. This is dog. I hit 30. You hear the people. You hear the artist. So that's just how it writes itself. Instead of you sitting there and planning, like, okay, we must have this guy here and they have this guy. This, you know what I mean? It just wrote itself. So
then, what informs the beat selection? If you're saying that
I have to give him props because
the artist, then what informs how you.
He came because I was all over the place. He came with most of the beats. He just sent them to me and came with most of the beats. I was like, yo, let's rock, bro. I think I just picked one beat. I think
you came with the Caught, the one that you like.
I came with Caught, and I came with the remade Keep Pushing. Shout out to Bonafide.
Yeah, Keep Pushing.
Yeah, shout out to
which was the massive record as well.
But majority of the album, I have to give it to Les. He came with.
So what went into that, Les?
Like, I know P well and I know myself, so I knew how far we could stretch this. I can tell you, never at any point did we not want to work on something.
Right.
Unless one was moaning because they're tired, or how can we record such a song when it's late? Like,
and
he was when we were recording.
It was 4 songs deep. I was tired. I usually record 4 songs and you're still trying to do
Poison.
Yes.
He was like,
I was tired.
No, I'm tired. I'm like, yo, let me go in.
Right.
And I just went in and Jay-Z number 10. And he's like, oh, all of a sudden he's not tired. Let's go. When we were doing Free, I complained so much because it was late in the night.
And I just went and did the hook.
He's like, yo, and he did the hook. I'm like, okay, I'm going. And then I have like this verse that won't end on Free because I just enjoyed the thing so much. Yeah.
Right.
That's actually turning out to be one of the favorites. Free
is a big song.
Free, Keep Pushing.
Do you guys have favorites right now?
It changes every
day.
It
changes.
What's your favorite today?
For me, today's Forbidden Fruit. I'm vibing right now.
Thanks.
I'm vibing. That joint is, shout out just Sako. That joint is dope,
You?
Runaway.
Yeah.
Runaway was the first song we did.
It was the first song.
And did you guys have a sound in mind before you got started?
No.
So then how? How do you know then practically, if you don't have a particular sound in mind, how do you then know this is it in terms of beats, this is not it, this person is right, this person is not right?
Let me put it to you this way. When we were like a few songs in, we were like, yeah, let's keep a certain type of momentum where the album will not just appeal, because people like, and I said to P, and we were laughing about it, we were speaking about this because our studio sessions were like, it wasn't just we get in there, like part of our work is talking and just feeling things out
in the liquor
and the liquor and just this okay, sure,
the spliff was there.
So we spent a lot of time talking. So we were talking about this thing called it's a series, the last OG, Tracy Morgan. And I was saying to him that Tracy Morgan said something to this guy saying, I don't want my time, to end up like a broke OG with knowledge. And we were talking about that. We're like, I don't want to make music broke OG music with knowledge.
Right.
And then from there it was like, we're not making broke OG with knowledge
with
music.
knowledge type of music.
Yeah, so like hip hop is not just inspirational, but it's also aspirational. Which is very important. And I think a lot of what some people have missed in our music is the aspirational aspect. They want to go for the inspiration, like, oh, this, but you have to aspire to get certain things. You have to aspire to live a certain way. You have to aspire to move. If PDotO remains the same throughout his career, then he's a madman, because you don't. And the same with me, because you grow from being a child. You don't stay a child forever. You have to grow, and it works like that with music as well. So we had to show people
that you guys have grown.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love what I'm hearing. So I'm about to play one of my favorite joints from the album BlakLez and PDotO with Court featuring Jay Claude, and then we're going to come back and talk some more. Please forgive any ratchetry that you might experience during this song. Thank you. What you say on Court about sniffing lines, licking cracks? What? Richard Nixon?
It's just like, yo, man, it's just the entendre stuff that I was playing with. You know, it just really boils down to being dope, you know. Like couple lines in my head. I guess I sniff that, you know, fast. And then I say, I lick that crack. Richard Nixon. You know, everybody follows what Richard Nixon did.
No, stop talking about Richard Nixon. She just gave you that one.
Nah, bro. Like, come on. Like, come on. I don't have to sit here and explain these.
So, because the line, there's so the speech that you speaking about that I drove home nicely for you.
You see?
He says, Richard Nixon says it is necessary to wage a new all-out offensive. Now, when I read up on the speech, I was like, are we waging an all-out offensive on the cracks? The poor lady's cracks. Why are we doing that?
You guys are overthinking this thing. It was just a play on dope and everything that has to do with drugs.
Stop it, bro.
You know,
stop it, bro.
Sakuza, bro. Sakuza, bro.
That's silly. Where do I get my water?
So apparently, some people say that watching the camera close to me must be fixed. I don't know.
The camera closest to you must be fixed.
Oh snap! This is
Yeah, we live.
I know, bro.
Wawana, how fit like Eli or brief? Wawan.
I didn't even know much. I thought you was.
I'm gonna forgive you for that lick that crack line.
Nah, it's forgive me.
Aziza bailed you out.
You guys understand.
Talking about Richard Nixon, war on drugs. You're like, stop it.
Yo, you guys just go check out Richard Nixon's war on drugs campaign.
That's Aziza gave you that one. You didn't even. You weren't even there.
Aziza, what did I tweet you yesterday? What did I tweet you? What did I tweet you?
No way.
Aziza, tell the truth.
I said to him, I asked you,
what did I tweet?
I'm going to tell the truth, but let me hear Liz's truth.
These are things that I'm creating.
When you're being creative, and that's fine. But I'm saying, when we were recording it afterwards, I asked Jay Claude and Taps. I said, that line, there. Bro.
No.
Oh, you were there.
I
said, what's going on?
And then I remember you still said, P, you must be sure, because I don't want you crying here when people start asking,
I know,
why are you talking?
I think one thing people don't understand about me, I'm a very incredibly dope rapper.
Okay, sir.
I'm very dope. I think about what I say. I don't just write it and then just, they'll probably like, even the 2-3 line on the algorithms, everything that I write, I'm not a punchline MC like that. But when I write, I think about what I'm writing. I knew about the Richard Nixon thing. I knew about what crack means. I knew about drugs. I know about. It's just like I said. It's a play on dope. I'm saying I'm dope, but at the same time, I'm planting it's also imagery. Because when I say lick that crack, automatically you thinking crack, you thinking ass, you thinking woman, you thinking it's a nasty song.
What's Richard Nixon got to do with that?
It's a play on drugs and what he did and his contribution.
But the thing about it is that the Nixon line comes after the licking of the crack, and then you say we're presidential.
Yeah. Yo, man, let's just move on, Machi. I can't.
His line was more. Richard Nixon was more about the presidential,
yes.
not the crack.
Not the crack.
Everything is combined, bro.
Papa. Yeah.
Shout out. You guys.
I also think about what I write. Sometimes I fly over heads like a lot.
I think this one, like, let's just. I flew over heads. It's fine. It's cool. They didn't get it.
They were deep in the crack. That's
why.
They
didn't get it. You guys didn't get it.
Talk to me, Les, about the influence of the Jamaican patois and why it's in there.
For what? For which song?
Banana Clips. I heard it on a lot. Yeah.
And we've been getting text about Banana Clips from even rappers.
Is weird. Like, rappers. Stogie T sent us text.
Shout out Stoke.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm saying, are we shooting now? People now.
Shout out Stoke, Big Stoke.
I was like, ach man, you know, it's music and it's gangster rap, you know, people like that. And he's like, okay, bang bang, salute. And I said, bro, and I said to him, bro, you like drink whiskey and smoke cigars for a living and Rick Ross it every day, nobody got a problem. And he laughed.
Oof.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hip-hop, like you know what I'm saying? So, but we're getting a lot of love for that song, which is what's surprising us.
Why are you surprised?
Because I don't think when we made that song we were thinking about love.
No, we didn't think it would be a song people say they're stuck on.
So but you made a very valid point earlier on. You were speaking about and I don't remember if it was on air or off air when we were chatting, but you were speaking about how hip hop is both inspirational and aspirational, or it should be. But I think also you guys need to remember that your consumers listen in because they love you, but also because you paint pictures. And a lot of the times it's like when you go to watch your favorite artist on stage, there's a part of you that wishes you could be on that stage doing that thing. So you guys put these characters on banana clips because you're not rolling around
I
with
don't
45s.
I don't own a gun.
You know what I mean?
I've never shot nobody
but
in my life.
There are people who, for instance, love mafia movies and they want to be those characters. So through listening to that music, they feel like they can be a part of it. And that's why you'll find that people are going to start to learn the words to that joint just so that they can feel like they are embodying that character that you guys have put out there. So you shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that was an idea I had of like gangster rap. And then what I did was I remember sending him a voice note of me going, who all romp with us?
Yeah.
People are thinking, I'm saying who all romp with us, and then I use the F word in the second part, you know, which is patois. Who all romp with us, you know, which means the same thing as, you know. So, was it nice to have to hear that little patois?
It was, but that's why I'm asking why you decided to include it.
Because it was just nice. I mean,
it's different.
It's nice. I mean, what I did was I channeled. Have you seen the movie Belly?
Yes.
Yeah. So, like Ox, who all romp with me when these guys come to his house and this Shakila, whatever her name was, this woman comes to kill him. This assassin, and he's like shooting. He's not wearing a shirt. He's got a gun. He's scar-facing it out. Like, who will romp with me? I'm the original Dandala. He actually says it. That. Yeah. Yes. So I channeled, like, you know, the Ox.
Yes.
And we remember we grew up in a certain era. We watched like your Nas's, your DMX's, and those guys, and they made songs like that sometimes. It was nice. So it was like a suspect, and we watched movies like that. But don't be Society,
Goodfellas as well.
Goodfellas
is something that I thought about when I was listening.
Jersey,
New Jack City.
So
Nino Brown.
We want to give people that feel, like, you know, those who get it. So it's nice to see that even, like, you know, the younger guys are like, yo, this is live.
Right.
So the patois just sounded really nice. Like, it was just like it had to fit. It gives that aggression that, yo, don't mess with us. So you say it in a language that almost in a dialect that sounds cool,
right,
but at the same time sounds intimidating.
Yeah.
So imagine somebody threatening you and you don't understand what they say, but
exactly
you understand.
they're saying. Yeah. So then where do we draw the line with you know, characters and putting on these characters, and then someone saying, but you guys as hip-hop artists have a responsibility to people who are listening to your music.
They must first go say that thing to Eminem, say it to Eminem, say it to whatever, because all these cats use whatever. I think they reserve this criticism for people like us.
Right.
It's like, you must stay in this box. You're
the conscious rapper.
You understand what I'm saying? But I see women dancing to all kinds of things. Say such whatever.
I love it.
I've seen ladies dancing. They even sing.
Reserve that criticism to everyone. KO, all these cats. You cannot say when we're making music that we should make strictly this.
Right.
Especially speaking to artists that make music that uplifts communities more often than not.
Right.
So when we are like jumping into characters and trying to have a little
I think people fall in love with moments, man, in music. Like I feel like the first time someone heard BlakLez, it was maybe Freedom of Fame, and that was a moment for them, and they maybe were going through something, and and that song brought them and home together, and they felt something. So that song is a moment, and it takes them to a special place. So I want to hear him like this because that was a moment for me.
But you don't recreate if you spend time trying to recreate moments.
Yeah, that's what people look for. So and then they put you in that box like, yo, I just want this from you.
No.
And when I fell in love with PDotO, I tried. So this is the moment now. If PDotO is doing Keep Pushing and it's on some trap stuff, wow, this is. I saw there's a couple people who were hating on that, like, yo, nah, song doesn't fit. It's like, yo, bro, you're doing something. This is not what I know you of.
Which song?
Keep pushing. You know, like, yeah, I saw a couple of people come and be like, so it's just like you fell in love with moments, and you want to hold me to that moment because that's when you fell in love with me when I did that one song, and it helps you because you were in school and you fell in love with your first girlfriend. It's a moment you hold it in forever, but you don't want the artist to grow. Like, we're not here to.
The people that have problems are the people that probably hardly ever buy. Or support or understand the nature of the artists that we are.
Right.
I've built a very strong base niche. Like, my people get me through. I could go 1 year with one video, and these cats is dropping 15 videos, and I'm still relevant for the year. And it's because I've built a loyal fan base. Like, I remember the 1 year. All I had was I Have No One in that video.
Yes.
And I was booked like crazy in December. And that's not even the other year I had like Sako. And then I had an album the next year. You know what I mean? So it's, if you build, and your fans will move with you. So I think we are building even more. Like, there's something really, really strong. And the fans are feeding off our vibes. I'm a painter. If I paint, I'm not going to ask my fans what they'd like me to paint. I'm just going to present. So if you don't like it, that's fine. It's no offense. If you do, great. So I think people need to stop trying to tell us what to make. Stop trying to tell us a day after we drop the song to put so-and-so on the remix. Maybe I don't want Tapelo or Tsepo on the remix.
I think that's just the energy of South African hip-hop.
This is why we didn't give exclusives. Remember, just speak about why we didn't give exclusives.
Going back to what he said, I feel like, hey man, it's the atmosphere right now. Everybody, like, the fans are telling people what to make. You can't please everybody. Like, someone is going to be upset about what you do. At the end of the day, just create. Music is about feeling. Music is about where you are. It's an extension of self. If I'm at this place, I'm going to talk about this. If I'm not at this place, you can't be mad at somebody who's talking about money when that's where they at in their life.
Right.
So now must he go play a character and just talk about he's broke when he's not broke? That's why, like, one of the reasons that made me not connect with 50 Cent after a while, because 50 was still shooting people when we know that 50 is not shooting people. But when Get Rich or Die Trying came out, it was believable because he was actually
where he
got popped, and he was, and then now by the third, fourth album, you can still be shooting people now because we know, like,
popped.
You know what I mean? So it's music is an extension of self. Be true to yourself, and the music will do the rest.
All right, so we've got literally a minute and a half to go. We're actually almost done.
Shout out.
What were you hoping to achieve with LostDiamonds, and do you think that it's happening with the little time that it's been out? Do you think that you are achieving the goal and the ultimate vision for LostDiamonds?
You want to speak for? Well, this LostDiamonds idea is bigger than me and Les. It was to shine and highlight, like I said in the listening session, to highlight, like, there's a lot of artists and it may not even be musicians, it may be painters, it may be singers, it may be writers, it may be poets, it may be so many different people that have this incredible, raw, beautiful talent that is only God-given, and they don't have the light on them. So our thing was to, bring the light to those kids, and those, be it any province that we go to, Gauteng, Eastern Cape, we want this umbrella to grow to be that kind of thing where, yo man, there's LostDiamonds in Eastern Cape, let's go find them and bring these artists up. They don't necessarily have the light on them. So it's bigger than me and him. It grows bigger than me and him. That's the idea. And as we stand right now, people are messing with the music. It's still gonna grow. We still got a couple more videos coming. Shout out Njaya.
It's difficult to speak about impact because it's still early days. I think, as we said, you could trend for a couple of days or whatnot, and then stuff just withers away. I think we need to just watch this space and see exactly what unfolds. So we will be able to talk about impact in a couple of months' time.
I can already see that there's impact outside of the trends and everything because of the way that people are constantly speaking about it. And each day, it's almost like each day has a new song that people are speaking about. You know what I mean?
Praise
so
God.
it's like banana clips one day, and then the next day everybody's like, oh my God, this court song, oh my God, long live, oh my God, free, oh my God, Holy Ghost. So I think that sometimes we get in a position where we want to be a bit too cautious and a bit too safe. But I also agree with not listening to an album once and be like, oh my God, it's a classic.
Correct.
Based on what? But I also think that as people who have made the music, don't be too cautious about realizing what it's doing. You know, impact is not in a day.
I have to say, sorry to interject, we have a plan.
Okay.
And our plan is not restricted to what's happening right now. I anticipated. We anticipated it, did we not? This beginning. It's not about that. This thing is a marathon. So we there's a lot of work to do. And I always stress to the gents, they'll tell you, there's a lot of work to do.
Right.
One of the things that I will not have is any of us getting big-headed and thinking that the job is done because we're getting a couple of props and a couple of snaps from people and whatnot. There's a lot of work to do. And we've dropped a monumental album, and it deserves our blood, sweat, and tears. And that, for me, I'm not going to speak about impact now, but we can speak in a couple of months' time where you see how hard we've worked to actually push the product outside of the studio and what we do, the moves we make. So it's difficult for us to talk about our moves because, you know, it's not really advisable, but there are moves that are coming that I think will make this even larger. Yeah.
All right, so the saga continues for the LostDiamonds.
Can I just shout out like SA hip hop, like the artists that have been coming to the forefront, because hip hop took a beating, you know, for the past year and a half, but things have changed. I mean, it's so exciting, you know. Nice to see.
Shout out Nasty, shout out Nasty,
Banner,
shout out Ginger Trill on this album.
Ginger Trill,
shout out
monumental.
Shout out BlakLez and PDotO.
You know, Reese dropped the joint. Casper dropped the joint. Who am I forgetting?
A lot of people, but we're running out of time. So we're gonna take this chat off air because I feel like there's still a lot more to say. Hey, step up to your
shout
mic.
Out Tole. Don't worry about the haters. Don't worry about the haters.